My grandmother is a hereditary witch. She knows all sorts of incantations, curses, reversals. And since childhood she taught me that there are many scary and mystical things in our lives. Of course, she is from a remote village where you can see from the window of the house a centuries-old forest with no end in sight. In such a setting, stories about fairies, witches, and sorcerers seem real. But I moved to the city. And there you know what kind of rhythm. On the mind only work, and personal life is all crumpled. Meetings, parting. And so it happened that I broke up with one of my suitors. He ran after me for a long time, my hand and heart offered. But not my man. It seems like a charming, companionable, but here I feel that it is ostentatious. And the real him was when he sometimes drank and began to tell me that he hated animals and people. When I told him about the breakup, he reacted violently. He yelled and begged me to go back. But I remained adamant. I did not want to tie my life with such a man. Then he promised me a lot of trouble at the last meeting. And then terrible things began to happen to me. Bad thoughts occurred to me that our mortal life was worthless. Every day it was as if someone was whispering in my ear, so that I would believe it and give up the fight. Soon I couldn't even get up for work in the morning and stopped eating. I didn't see the point in it. I got scared when I realized that something bad was happening to me. I rushed straight to my grandmother on the train. From the doorstep she said that I met a sorcerer on my way. And he's not a young man at all, she said when I showed her the picture. Look at his real face. She ran her hand over the picture, and there was an ugly old man there instead of my buddy. His face was ugly, all wrinkled, and his eyes were cruel and staring at you, as if he could see you now. My grandmother performed a ritual on me. She burned Buddy's picture and stuck an enchanted pin in my clothes. I really felt as if some weight was lifted from my shoulders and I gained strength in our remote village. Go, said Granny, and don't be afraid of anything. Buddy won't bother you now. I thanked my grandmother and came home. I found out that my ex-boyfriend had suddenly left for another city to earn money. So he left, and left. Except my friends told me that a creepy, infirm old man who said he was his grandfather was living in Buddy's apartment. Sometimes I think about going to see him, to see if I can see the man my grandmother showed me in the picture, but I'm afraid. And I also wonder how my fate would have turned out if I didn't have such a great grandmother.
Thank you for the likes. Subscribe so you don't miss new stories.